Welcome to Speak Easy Cinema, where we pair great movies with great drinks. I'm Adam.
And I'm Dion. Every week we'll break down a movie while enjoying a cocktail inspired by the film itself.
Today we're heading into deep space and looking at one of the most anticipated sci-fi movies in a while, Project Hail Mary.
Based on Andy Weir's best-selling novel, same guy who brought you The Martian.
All right, so the way we're going to do this is we're going to talk about the movie itself, but we're also going to introduce some drinks. So, Dion, you want to talk about our first drink?
Yeah, so the first drink we got is the Astrophage, which represents the energy source and the main bad guy, you want to call it? If there's a bad guy?
If there's an antagonist, I guess it would be the Astrophage, wouldn't it?
It would have to be.
All right.
Of the film, so. Cheers.
Cheers. I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah, we'll put the recipe in the notes. We did make a slight adjustment to the original recipe with some spearmint simple syrup.
Yeah.
Which I think actually makes it better than regular simple syrup. But if you're not into mint, maybe you can just use regular simple syrup.
Yeah, it's got that hint of mint, but I think it actually makes it a little bit better. So I'm digging it.
Yeah.
All right, what do we got for the other one now?
Second one is a non-alcoholic one for you alcoholics who are quitting or children. They like to drink stuff too.
Children like to drink too.
Yeah, so this is Rocky's Harmony, which is going to represent the emotional core of the film itself. Oh.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I really like that one.
Yeah, if you really like apple cinnamon applesauce, it's like that in a liquid form.
It is.
It's delicious.
It is. It's actually delicious. All right, so let's start this off with a question.
Okay.
If you woke up with amnesia in space, what would you do first?
Scream. I lose my mind.
Lose your mind?
Yeah, like I'm not equipped to be in space with people or by myself. So yeah, I'd probably be quite concerned.
I mean, I don't think you're the only one. I don't think most of us are kind of equipped to be in space.
Yeah.
So that would probably be the reaction, I think, of most people at first. What would be your follow-up, though, after just screaming?
I try to figure out what's going on. I'd probably do a lot what Rylan did. You know, search around, trying to figure out what's going on, where I am, where's everybody else at. But yeah.
I would like to think so. The one thing that bothered me, though, was he's, like, immediately pushing buttons and shit. And, like, some of it was actually working.
Yeah.
You know, for a guy who is not an astronaut and who just woke up from amnesia, I'm not touching a fucking button. I'm telling you that right now.
But did that happen over a duration? Like, we don't really know the duration of time that it went from him waking up to him starting pressing things. He did, like, start looking at things right away.
Yeah.
And he does have a science background at the very least.
A science background. You're talking about buttons on a spaceship. That's a little bit different than knowing the chemical composition of something.
True, but I would be lying if I said if I woke up in any room and there's a bunch of buttons there, I might push a button.
That's true. I mean, we're men, so
we're gonna push a button.
We're gonna push buttons,
even if it says "do not push."
We're definitely gonna push that one.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you put a big red button there. That's the one we're pushing first.
Sure.
So yeah,
that's kind of what he did.
It is kind of what he did, yeah. And it worked out for him, so...
Yes, it did.
I guess maybe that is the strategy to use.
You just push it.
Just push buttons.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right, that works.
If you get nothing else from this podcast, push buttons.
Just push buttons.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, you know? Whatever capacity you're in.
Yeah.
You see buttons, push them.
Unless you're the president, then don't push
Then don't push the button. Please, don't push the button.
Any buttons.
No. No, please hold off on that one.
Okay.
All right, just a warning, from here on out, we're going to be talking about a lot in the film, full spoiler alert.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it, pause this, go watch it, and then immediately come back and watch this, because this is important.
It's a good movie, though, so you're going to want to watch it.
Yeah, not to give away our ratings, but it is a good movie.
Yeah, we'll just say it's good for now. We'll get to the ratings later.
So what happens is, main character's name is Rylan.
Rylan Grace,
Grace wakes up aboard the Hail Mary.
Mm-hmm.
You'll find out why it's called that a little bit later. Complete amnesia. Doesn't really quite know what's going on. You as the audience don't really know what's going on. You get things in pieces as he starts to remember things, which I found refreshing. Because I think if you would have started off with just what's leading up to it, it might have been kind of boring because it is science heavy in the beginning.
Yeah.
If you expanded upon that for the first, 45 minutes of the movie.
Well, I love how I kind of think with both of his movies, you're just jumping right into the middle of the movie.
Yeah.
Right. So there's not a whole lot of setup. They're dropping you into, where you need to be. And then, they give you the exposition.
Yep.
As they go along. So you're kind of figuring it out along with him, which I think is kind of a cool way to manage that.
Yeah, absolutely. So you get that. Again, gets that gradual memory recovery. We discover and he remembers that the sun is dimming. And the reasoning for that is a astrophage.
It's astrophage right there.
Astrophage.
Yeah.
It is eating the sun, for lack of a better, more scientific term, but that's basically what they said. They're trying to figure out why. So they convene a group of the smartest minds, and they wanted an outlier, somebody who bucked some of the scientific systems. I don't recall the exact thing. He wrote a paper about something that was kind of got him ostracized in the scientific community. Basically, he hypothesized that you don't necessarily need water for life forms to exist, and kind of laughed out of the scientific community. I don't know if that was the motivation behind him becoming a teacher, but essentially he's a middle school teacher.
I think it was kind of like he became a teacher because basically becoming the laughing stock of his.
Yeah,
profession.
he got laughed out of the community.
Right.
Because he wrote this paper, like you said, there's life beyond water, and in the scientific community, that's a no-no.
Right.
Right.
So they basically, laughed him out. He became a teacher, and now they're coming to him because this astrophage is basically eating the sun.
And it goes against what they
Right.
know as conventional scientific theory.
Right.
So they need somebody, kind of an outsider, to...
Someone who has a little bit more knowledge on things that they took for granted as being solid science.
Right.
Yeah, but he wasn't the only one that they reached out to. They kind of explained later on that, they reached out to a bunch of different scientists.
Yeah.
And he was just one of many. He just happened to be the one that figured it out.
So they bring him in, along with a bunch of other people, to try to do some sciencey stuff.
Trying to do science, yes.
Yes. So you'll gather as we're talking that I'm not super into science. Like, I was never good at science in school. So my knowledge of science is very minimal.
I love science. I also understand how little I know about it.
Yeah.
So I try not to pretend like I know more than I do.
I was a big history nerd, and the only science I liked was chemistry because you get to blow shit up.
You get to, obviously, yeah.
All the other stuff I didn't care about.
Yeah, no, not in school. In school, I liked chemistry for that same reason. You get to blow shit up.
Yeah.
Biology, any of those others, I was kind of like,
Yeah.
But now I find them interesting, especially astronomy, physics, like all that stuff is
Quantum
fascinating.
physics.
Yeah,
My favorite.
Yeah.
Physics is your favorite?
Quantum physics.
Yeah.
When Brandy gets a couple in her, she becomes an astrophysicist.
Okay.
Yeah. You'll experience my profound knowledge of science.
Yeah.
And
My only dabble in quantum is Quantum Leap. I like that show.
that's a great show.
Yeah, it was a great show.
It's a great show.
Yeah, they should bring that back.
They did. It was not good.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
On NBC for like a season.
It wasn't good though?
No.
No,
Okay.
it wasn't.
But it was a great concept for a show.
It was fantastic.
And the original, it was executed really well.
Yeah. So they had to go to a mission. The name of the planet they were going to was Tau City.
Tau City.
Tau City. Yeah.
Yeah, Tau Ceti.
So he's already out in space, doing his thing, trying to figure things out, and then a massive spaceship that looks like branches or like copper wire.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was really weird.
Yeah.
Or like the coils that you use when you're like pouring cement to like the rods.
Yeah.
Made out of those.
Yeah.
It was cool looking though.
So that arrives.
Kind of shadows him.
It's like 5 times the size of his ship.
Oh, yeah.
And then
He's freaking out.
he's freaking out, understandably, because he's like he wakes up alone in space. He sees 2 dead bodies.
He has no idea why he's there,
No idea
how
why
he
he's
got
there.
there,
No.
what's going on.
Who are these 2 dead people?
But he knew enough to give them a space funeral.
He did, but that was a little bit later, though.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's after he learned everything about them
Yeah.
and the mission and why they were there.
Once he starts remembering, I think that's when,
Yeah.
when he does it. Then we don't know his name yet, but the Rocky
Rocky, yes.
tries to basically dock the ships
Yeah.
so they can make contact. He goes through this very weird tunnel.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they're basically a species that can, like, build shit quickly.
Anything, yeah. Basically,
Yeah.
give them anything, and they can just build stuff.
Yeah.
They're like engineers,
Yeah.
basically.
They have contact. Neither of them can understand the other for obvious reasons. And the one thing I like about this that you don't get in a lot of these sci-fi movies is that everybody automatically speaks English. In all the other movies, it's
Yeah.
like, come on, how realistic is that? You watch Star Trek, everybody speaks English on
Right.
the planet.
Right. Every galaxy has English.
Star Wars, everybody speaks English.
Right.
We don't all
Right.
speak English on this planet, but
Yeah.
in the entire universe,
Yeah.
it's only English.
Only English. So it's pompous, but that's a whole other.
Well, so apparently, in the book, they go over a little bit more with Rocky
Yeah.
because everything is echolocation. And apparently, the way that his species is set up, he did understand Ryland.
Yeah. But
It took him a little bit, but he can process and find patterns in things
Yeah.
very quickly.
Yeah.
So he learned to understand what Ryland was saying. Ryland obviously could not understand what he was saying.
So we built a contraption which basically translated music tones into English.
Yeah.
Pretty smart.
It was pretty smart, and it worked.
Worked really well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then they do they meet up. They work through their language barrier, did some scientific experiments.
Well, they realized they were both in it for the same purpose. Both
Yeah.
of their planets were in systems where the sun was being eaten by the astrophage.
On Rocky's ship, everybody that he came with basically died as
They all
well,
died, yeah.
other than Rocky.
And that was so emotional. Like the fact, like as the story comes out and he talks about how devastating that was for him.
Yeah.
That's so amazing that they made that so emotional for both of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that's important. You know what I mean? Like, you not only are you trying to save your species and your planets, right? But the people who are supposed to go on this mission with you are now no longer there. And I think that they did a really good job of bringing justice to that emotional complexity of losing the people that you're going into this mission, that is a suicide mission to save your people, your planet, knowing that the entire universe is pretty much all dead.
Well, it's only a suicide mission for the humans.
Right.
Okay, yeah.
Rocky
Okay.
had plenty of fuel and had every motivation of going back. His
Yeah.
planet wasn't as far away
Yeah.
from that point than Ryland's was, and that was another emotional hook when Rocky realized, well, you're not going home.
Yeah.
Then he gave up half of his
Fuel
fuel
supply,
shores
yeah.
and said, I'll just get back to my home planet 6 years later. It's no big deal.
Now, apparently in the book, Rocky has been in space for 46 years.
Okay,
So-
I didn't know.
Yeah.
And according to the book, Grace was in space he was in a coma for about 4 years and 8 months, I believe.
Yeah,
And then in Earth years, because of the way that space works, that was like 11 years, I believe, on Earth that
Okay.
they were gone. So I think that had a lot to do with why also it was a, suicide mission.
yeah, and it was also jarring because I didn't read the book,
Hmm.
and then I figured he had to be in space for some sort of duration, but he didn't age at all. But then when you get to the end, and then you see the woman who recruited him, she had aged.
She has aged, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. And you start to realize like it's just,
how long has gone since?
yeah.
But so they figure out they're on the same, on the same mission.
Yep.
They need to solve the same problem. So now they're together. And so they go to Tau Ceti.
Yep.
And then their job now is to try to figure out exactly why this is the one place where the astrophage is not able to feed.
Right.
Because on every other star around,
It's getting
it's dimming them.
dim.
It's eating them.
It's eating them.
Yeah.
And then this is the one that for some reason it wasn't. So that was the whole point of the mission
Mhm.
is why.
And then Rocky has the great idea of fishing, basically.
Fishing, yes.
So he creates, as you had mentioned before, they can basically create anything. He creates this long space fishing rod, essentially,
Yeah.
to collect samples. And what they found was there was essentially a parasite that would eat the astrophage. And that's kind of how they solved it. Although there's, obviously a lot of trial and error.
Figuring out how it works.
Science stuff that's above my...
Yeah, a lot of science.
Yeah, a lot of science.
Yeah.
But not too much science that it's boring.
Yes.
Yeah, they did a good job, I think, of balancing having good science. And apparently Andy Weir is generally all about the science.
Yes.
Which I love. There's a lot of science in there. And apparently in the book, there's a lot more explanations on things. Yeah. But I agree. I love the fact that there's a lot of science in there, but it's not in the way of anything. You don't get bored of it. You don't get bored of it, and they don't talk down on you for not knowing it. Right.
Or above you as if you should know it.
Right.
They do a decent job of kind of bringing it in to give you the idea. Even if you don't completely understand it, you understand it enough.
Right.
I love that.
Yes.
Because it's important. Otherwise, it becomes too boring.
Right.
Or, like you said, you get offended, like, not stupid.
Yeah, it's a tough balancing act. And I think they did a good job of that. So
not too many super. Yeah, would you classify this? I mean, technically, yes, it is a science fiction movie,
right?
But it's not science fiction in the same way as Star Trek or Star Wars or even Guardians of the Galaxy. It's heavy on the science, but not too heavy.
Right.
That it gets.
That's what makes this different, is because he did go in with the goal of making sure that, as he said in the podcast with Neil deGrasse Tyson that we'll touch on, that it was important to him. And he was thinking about, as if he were, Neil deGrasse Tyson was like watching over his shoulder almost. Yeah. So he wanted to make sure that those in the scientific community that understood the science behind this wouldn't have issues with it.
Yeah, they wouldn't say this is
but done well enough for us to understand it as well, which that's awesome.
Yeah.
I think you're right in the regard, like a Star Wars, a Star Trek, Guardians of the Galaxy, those types of movies. They're not just sci-fi; they're like fantasy almost.
Yeah.
Whereas this is Earth with humans, just a couple years from now, and running into, I don't want to say a realistic problem because astrophage is not real; it is made up, as is Rocky and his species.
Maybe,
but it's kind of along the lines of our reality.
Right.
Dion, I love that you just said that, because that's one thing that I love to do on a scientific level with Adam, is the minute that he's like, that's not possible. And I'm like, that you think that you know of right now.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know.
Exactly.
I know.
It could all be real.
So you think in the vast universe, billions of planets, we're the only life form?
No.
He just doesn't think that astrophage is real, and he doesn't think that Rocky is real.
Right.
There's no possibility of that being real in his brain.
I don't say there's no possibility.
We don't have any
They're
evidence.
not real things. Therefore,
we don't have evidence that they exist.
They're highly unlikely to be real. They were manufactured for the purpose of this story.
Unless this is a simulation.
Okay, off topic.
So circling back, we got to the point where we talked about them discovering the parasite.
Right. And they went and got a sample of it.
They did.
They fished.
They got the sample of it.
Mm-hmm.
They already had samples of the astrophage, because that was what actually was powering both of their ships, spaceships. So they ran the test and then realized that, it was just basically eating it.
Right. So at that point, they both found the solution.
Right.
And they were both going to go back to their home planets, although Ryland didn't have enough fuel. So that was kind of the emotional point where Rocky was like, well, wait, you're not going home?
Amaze.
Huh?
Amaze.
Yeah. What I love about that is that, we think of this thing we call humanity as being only human, right? Hence humanity. But clearly it's not. And I love that they show that part of us is capable of being part of anything. And it's an important part.
So then Rocky gives
enough
fuel, right, for Ryland to get home.
Yep.
They go their separate ways.
Yes. And then Ryland discovers, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the way he realized that Rocky wouldn't make it back was based off his dead crew. They were poisoned by the astrophage, like it was causing radiation poisoning or something. And that's how he realized that Rocky was never going to make it back home. So Ryland diverted. He made the decision, I'm just not going to go home. I'm going to go and save my friend.
Yeah.
Who saved me?
Who saved me.
Yeah.
Was it the astrophage? I thought it was the solution, basically, became the new problem because it started basically like eating through the ship.
Yes. And maybe he was thinking that it was going to eat all the fuel and it wouldn't, if it wasn't...
It wasn't contained because he was able to contain it in his ship.
Yeah.
But he knew Rocky's ship, Rocky wouldn't have figured that out. And by the time that he did...
It would have been too late.
It'd have been too late and he would be dead.
So then he went and basically saved Rocky after Rocky saved him. They got even.
Yeah, you got me, I got you.
So then he bottles up the solution, figures out a way. They don't really tell you how. He figures out a way to get back to Earth.
Well, he ships them off. They fire out the little pods with, like, I was like 6 pods or something with it in it.
I'm assuming they must have had, like, drone tracking capability to get back to Earth. They don't really explain
it.
It's a movie, so you don't think too deep into it.
Magic. Yeah.
The parasite that they create through selective breeding to eat the astrophage actually gets into their fuel supply. And he finds it first.
Yeah.
And he knows that Rocky won't realize it until it's too late.
Right. So he sends the solution off to Earth, and then he decides to sacrifice himself to go help Rocky.
Helps Rocky, saves him, and then they flash basically to Earth where they're getting the material. Hooray, everything's saved. Amaze. And you think, oh, wow, Rocky's going to be saved, but Ryland's dead because how's he going to inhabit another planet? He didn't have the ability to survive that. And then you find out that Rocky's species are geniuses. They can basically create a dome for him.
They took the archives that he had of human life.
Yeah.
And they were able to recreate basically like think about like a zoo. Like a little enclosure for him.
A human zoo.
Yeah, human zoo.
Which is what we would be if...
But he was a teacher. He was teaching their species about things. So that I loved, that they gave him a role as well.
Well, and they touched on the fact that they were fixing his ship.
Yep.
And so he would be able to go home.
Yeah.
But he wasn't
ready.
Wasn't ready.
I don't think he had anything on Earth to go back to.
I said that.
Right? He has no significant other. He has no kids.
Right.
He didn't really make any mention of any siblings or parents being alive.
No.
And not for nothing, but he was drugged against his will and thrown out a spaceship to go save everybody to fuck up and die. So I don't know how keen he is to go back to Earth anyway.
Right.
I'd be a little pissed too.
Yeah. I might have not even sent the samples back. But I'm petty.
That's a level of petty.
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever seen, sacrificing Earth.
Listen, bitches, I found a new planet. Fuck you.
You want to be gone? I'm gone.
Free will.
Yeah. I think it was a nice way to end it off, though, Yeah.
And the good thing about this movie, or the unique thing, depending on how you look at it, is there was no big bad. There's no emperor to conquer. There's no evil villain. It's just some scientific anomaly that they needed to fix. And it's really, this film, in my opinion, is a love letter to teachers. They didn't pick a soldier or an astronaut to go into space. They picked a teacher.
Well,
and if he wasn't a teacher, I don't think him and Rocky would have been able to learn from each other and talk to one another, communicate. All those things that made him uniquely him is the only way this would have worked in the first place.
Well, and the protagonist from The Martian was a botanist.
Yeah.
So botanist, teacher, these are common everyday people.
Right.
That
just happened to be in the right place at the right time.
Right.
The right knowledge.
To evolution. Right. They're in a position to either save Earth or
save themselves.
Get up
on Mars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I hate to say it this way, but the antagonist is almost science.
No.
Well,
no. It's the antagonist is actually survival. It's survival, and that's what our antagonist is all the time, right? I mean, in all honesty, like we're all just out here trying to survive.
But that's not an antagonist.
It is.
That's a goal.
No.
The antagonist is astrophy.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. There's always stuff that you have to survive in life, right? And that's what it is. It's about survival.
it's about survival, but that's not an antagonist. The antagonist is the astrophage, but it's also other sciencey stuff that they're up against.
Like what?
Gravity, and when they're fishing, trying to basically skim the planet and then pull off, and they don't get the correct angles, and so he basically gets knocked out, and Rocky has to try to sacrifice himself in order to save.
Yeah, and that's the other thing we didn't really touch on, is that neither of them obviously breathe.
Right.
Yeah.
So Rocky has that special suit that he made himself.
And Rocky also made that like oxygen crystal necklace that allowed Ryland to basically walk in his tube without his need for the suit.
Yeah. It's cool. It's really cool when you think about it. Like that's what the one thing that I think that, especially like when you think of Star Trek, you know, any kind of space, anything, when you start to use your imagination and you see like where that goes, and then the possibility of that being a reality, like I think that that's cool when they went, because there's always that argument of like art imitating life, or you know what I mean? But there's so many things that if you look even in Star Trek where like things that they used as props or whatever become actual things that we use.
Right.
So it's cool to think that what he was thinking about could potentially one day be real.
One day be real.
Yeah.
First question is Ryan Gosling. Does he carry the movie?
Yes. You know, he is the primary. The secondary protagonist is a rock, not a real creature, a made-up creature. So it's kind of hard. So I mean, I think Ryan Gosling definitely carries most of this movie.
I don't agree with that.
You don't agree with that?
No, I think that it is definitely both of them that carry this movie. I don't think that you could have this movie without Rocky's presence and the creativity behind that. You know, if it were just Ryan out there being the character and trying to save Earth, I think it would not be the movie that it is.
Yeah.
So I think you need both.
Yeah, I think you need both. I think that if you're talking about human, then yeah, he's the one that carries it as a human protagonist. But I think you need both of them.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, like, as a protagonist, you like they both are like, and they're both important.
Sure,
they're both important. But I think, you know, like you said, as a human, like Ryan Gosling is clearly the lead on this, and Rocky plays off of him. And I think they do a phenomenal job, basically puppetry, but he's feeding off of, you know, Ryan Gosling's character.
Yeah, like I would say, use a sports analogy, Ryan Gosling is Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
And Rocky is Scottie Pippen. But they both need each other in order to...
But Rocky has better knowledge and more knowledge.
And make the argument that Scottie Pippen was a better defender than Michael Jordan.
That's so true.
You could make that argument.
Touche, pussycat. Touche.
Each of them had unique strengths that were needed in order to make that recipe work.
Yes.
Yeah.
How would you compare it to Matt Damon's portrayal in The Martian? Similar, different?
I think this is the better question, because, you know, to me in The Martian, it was Matt Damon kind of alone for a lot of the movie,
right? Which
is it's a little bit more difficult to do. In this one, I think there were definitely more flashbacks, and there was more of the other characters, you know, involved in the storyline.
Yeah. So,
you know, I think Matt Damon's portrayal is a little, I don't want to say more important, but the way that they handle that, you know, he has to carry it a little bit more. There is no secondary character there. You don't have quite as many flashbacks, you know, to other things. So it's a different type of movie along that line. But I think they both did a phenomenal job. So I don't want to say that Matt Damon did a better job than Ryan Gosling. I think they were just kind of a little bit different in the roles.
I also think that you have to take into consideration the casting. So in Hail Mary, you have Ryan Gosling, who is like obviously like the standout star, and everybody else is kind of you don't have any A-listers besides him, really. But then you see The Martian, you have heavy hitters all over the place in that movie. so collectively as a movie, I think that they're too different on the aspect because one, even though with Matt Damon being the only one on Mars, he didn't completely carry the movie alone the way that Ryan Gosling did in Hail Mary. Does that make sense?
I would agree with that. Yeah, that would have been my information too. I think Ryan Gosling is the sun that all the characters kind of orbit around.
Yeah.
Whereas in The Martian, while Matt Damon is alone, he isn't the only one really carrying it. Like I said, there's a lot of other people in The Martian. It's been a while since I've seen The Martian. I didn't rewatch it recently, but there was a lot of A-list people in that movie. They weren't just there as like without any speaking line. They all had importance to the plot, and in this, it's really just Ryan Gosling and Rocky. And
the difference is, so like in Hail Mary, you're talking about one person who, you know, whether they wanted to or not, it wasn't an option, right? He was chosen against his will, basically, to save Earth, to save people. But in The Martian, you have this guy who was accidentally left on Mars because they thought he was dead. Yeah. And now it's a PR situation for NASA. So like that's such a contrasting difference where one is focusing on humanity again, where the other one is focusing on how, especially in America, we fix our problems, right? Yeah. So let's talk about The Martian really quickly. Mm-hmm. So you've got a movie. I don't remember when it came out. I can look that up really quickly, though. But you have...
15 or 16. Okay. Because he wrote the book in 2011.
Yeah, okay. I want to say it was like... I was going to say 2014.
Yeah, I think it was 2015, now that I'm thinking about it. It was a real quick turnaround from the book...
To movie. And it did so well that but why did it take them so long to adapt this one to a movie then?
It didn't. He wrote this one in 2021.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they went into production pretty quickly afterwards.
Yeah.
He really only has 3 books.
Are they thinking about doing something with the third one?
Yes. Actually, before this one, they had actually contracted to do the other one. Okay. They've since put it on the back burner, but they're saying that they're still trying to do it. And at this point, the 2 movies they did put out are fucking blockbusters.
Yeah, so he probably could just write a check for himself. But I think they're already talking about, which I don't know how I feel about this, making a sequel to Project Hail Mary.
I mean, this is...
For what?
I don't know.
Because we are in end-stage capitalism and everybody's trying to grab money as fast as they can. And that's where Hollywood has been like this for decades now, where the minute that something does well, we continuously make sequel after sequel after sequel after sequel to just try to continuously profit.
Like, some movies are great to make sequels off of.
Yeah.
But then...
Marvel movies, because you have so many comics. You can do whatever you want. I get why they're so popular for decades, right? Mm-hmm. But a movie like that, I agree with you. I don't necessarily know if the sequel should be made.
I don't think it needs to. I mean, what are they going to... They're going to tell a story about him teaching and then...
Or trying to get back home. Yeah.
Which then kind of flies in the face of how you ended the movie in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
So, can I finish my thought there?
Nope. We just decided your thought does not count.
I know you did. I know you did. You just basically, nope, you're done. So I think some movies lend themselves well to having a sequel. But then to me, like the one movie that kind of defines it was Taken. Right? Okay. The plot of that movie kind of makes it that you should not have a second movie, right? They come and they take your daughter, mm-hmm. and then you have to go fight your way through to get her. Great. That should not have a sequel. There is nothing to have a sequel.
People get taken all the time.
Okay, not the same people all the time.
Bad luck.
All right? If this guy is losing his daughter like every couple of years, he's just a shitty father.
First of all, if you actually watched the sequel, it was his wife, the second one.
Whatever. Whatever. That's a one-time movie.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Do you watch Law and Order SVU?
Yeah.
Do you know how many times fucking Benton has been kidnapped? Like, every season she's getting kidnapped. He's got to be the worst detective of all time. The show's been on for 45 years.
I mean, I guess, but they have to have the new episodes and everything, so they're going to throw that in there every once in a while. I get that. But this movie doesn't, how do you have a sequel to it?
I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying we should have a sequel to this movie. I was more talking about Taken, because Taken 2 was I really like Taken 2.
It was good or no?
Well, here's the thing. I have a soft spot in my heart for really cheesy action movies. I don't give a shit about plot. I just want to see some martial arts, some things getting blown up. So I will watch even the worst of action movies that you can think of and quite enjoy them.
Fast and Furious?
I love Fast and Furious. Oh,
exactly.
Thank you.
Because he loves cheesy, shitty action movies, which that is.
It doesn't matter.
It's also scientifically accurate. I mean, they did drive a car into space. Come on.
Who launched their car into space? Somebody did that.
But to me, that's the problem. Like, you set up your universe. And something like Fast and the Furious, the first movie, they were, stealing cars and doing normal human things. And then it just went so far off the rails that they're fighting, for Earth and taking it into space and shit. Like,
no.
It just became unrealistic when your foundation is realism.
No. You gotta think about it this way. First of all, the military almost always recruits ex-street racers for wet work military operations. That's a known fact. You could look it up. I think you can even find that in some sort of document. So it's just the same thing with Fast and Furious. They took some street racers and they're like, we need somebody who's expendable. They hire The Rock, and then they go and fight bad guys.
In cool cars.
Sure.
You just don't have fun.
Worst fucking franchise ever.
Oh my God, no.
No. The worst franchise ever is Transformers.
I like Transformers.
Get out of here.
You said you like cheesy action movies, but you don't like Transformers?
I don't care about robots blowing things up. That's not fun.
You didn't like the Transformers when you were a kid?
The cartoon?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
The movies are shit.
Okay.
But it's the same concept, just brought to life.
Yeah.
Sure. And as I was telling you off camera before, I liked He-Man.
Yeah.
As a cartoon too.
Right.
But the movie is not great.
So disappointing.
Even the Dolph Lundgren one wasn't great either. But it was the appropriate level of cheese.
Yeah.
That made
For
it acceptable.
He-Man. It's so bad it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what's funny? Do you ever, there's memes of Skeletor, on social media, where he comes, running out of the cave, and he then says something, and then just runs back?
And he goes, till next time.
Yes! I love those.
Real quick, The Martian, if you have not seen it, Matt Damon and his crew are trying to leave Mars during a storm. He gets knocked out. They think he's dead. They try to go home. He now has to, he is alive. He now has to survive on Mars. And once they realize that he is still alive, they basically slingshot around the Earth while they were supposed to go home, back toward him. And their job is to catch him as he lifts off into outer space.
They're going to go fishing for him.
But to save him and bring him home. So that's kind of the quick synopsis.
I think one of the differences between The Martian and Hail Mary, again, going back to how it stands and the different viewpoints of where, one, you're coming in and it's about the humanity, and the other one, it's basically the PR. And I think that they do such a great job of that, because here it is, you have a bunch of people in NASA, heads of NASA, who are deciding, do we save one person for face? Really? Because this is astronomically expensive and impossible, and we could be potentially losing other lives. And that's that, again, do we save one person to look good, or do we let him die in order to save the rest of the crew?
Which is almost the opposite of what happens in Project Hail Mary.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
They're willing to sacrifice
one
or three.
Right.
To save billions.
Well, no, they actually they weren't. If you remember in The Martian, there's Donald Glover's character comes up with this kind of a saving grace, because everything else that they tried to do didn't work. And he's like, well, there just happens to be enough fuel that they could swing back and grab him. And he's the one who comes up with the idea. And then Jeff Daniels plays the head of NASA. And it basically is his decision and his decision alone as to whether it's worth the backlash of letting one person die or an entire crew die trying to save him.
Right.
And you're right. It's the total opposite of wanting to save everyone, including your friend, which is what Hail Mary was.
Yep.
Can I just go off on a little tangent here? You know what annoyed me about The Martian?
What?
That the fact that Donald Glover's character just comes out of nowhere. Nobody thought to slingshot around the Earth and send them back. It took some random person who doesn't work for NASA to come up with this idea.
Because the entire movie, NASA wasn't talking about saving him. There were everybody under Jeff Daniels, especially the one guy, he was pushing mostly to save him. Like, we don't leave anybody behind, right? And unfortunately, I can't remember the name of the guy or his character. He was the one who was kind of pushing for it, right? Jeff Daniels was taking a more like very CEO approach to it. Is this economical? Like, what does this mean for us as a program, for the rest of the program, for the people that are, watching all of this on Earth? Like, so he really has to make that decision knowing that there's no real right decision and there's no real wrong decision, but you have a moral kind of complex about it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where you don't have that in Hail Mary. It's very, very like, no, everyone deserves to be saved.
No, but they knew they were going to go back and get him. They were going to send another ship because they had another ship that was going in a few years, right? So they were going to first send a supply ship so that he could survive long enough.
Yeah, but the entire time Jeff Daniels is basically pushing back on this. Why are we saving one person? Why are we using all of our funds to save one person?
I know, but nobody thought of the idea at first because everybody else did want to save him.
Yeah.
So nobody else thought of this idea to slingshot while they're coming back, slingshot around the Earth and go back.
I mean, it always takes one person to come up with an idea.
I love that it was...
That's like literally one of the things that they do all the time.
Yes, but I love that it was one random guy who was just obsessing over this because that's the way his brain works.
But you're telling me nobody in NASA would have thought of that idea? And they all went, oh, I didn't think of that.
Well, knowing the people that work in NASA, I can promise you that would probably be...
Anyway, sorry, that's my little rant that I'll cut out. All right, so we discussed the plot of The Martian real quick.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts on just basically the two in comparison, Matt Damon and Ken?
I'm just Ken.
I thought they both did a good job. It's kind of hard to compare the two movies. They are vastly different movies, in my opinion. Or I think the main theme in Project Hail Mary is actually friendship. And the theme in The Martian is like, how do we not have egg on our face?
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I think they both did a great job in what they were trying to come across. I like the more light-hearted nature of Project Hail Mary, even in a like catastrophic time.
Man is kidnapped against his will, sent into space on a suicide mission.
Yeah.
And that's heartwarming to you?
What's heartwarming is his relationship with Rocky.
And in both of them, actually, I think that our writer does a really good job of just showing the humanity in both characters. Yeah. Because even in The Martian, Matt Damon does a great job, especially with like the disco music. Mm-hmm. Like he's obsessively like pissy with the disco music from his captain because it's like all of that, and it's so normal, right? Like, yeah, you're stuck on Mars, and there's a good chance you're probably going to die up there, and you're trying to figure out every day how to just survive. But you're also going to have that human, like, are you freaking kidding me? I'm going to die, and all I have is disco music. Because that's us. That's human, you know? And I love that he captures that so well. And I love that in the production of things, they got the right people to play the right part.
Casting is important.
It's so important.
Yeah.
And Matt Damon does a very good job of that complexity of being very stoic and, trying to keep a positive vibe for himself.
Yeah.
while trying to literally just survive, not knowing if this is it for him, you know?
By the way, are you looking into the camera?
Yep.
Okay. Not, where are you? Whole time. Oh. I also think Matt Damon plays like the humor a little better.
You think Matt Damon plays a humor better than
Ryan Reynolds?
Ryan
No,
Gosling?
Ryan Gosling.
Gosling.
Yep,
Wrong
wrong
Ryan.
Ryan.
I do. I think Matt Damon's humor, like he's had roles where, you know, is a little more silly, a little more fun. Like I think he pulled off the humor a little better than Ryan Gosling did. Don't get me wrong. There was funny stuff in Project Hail Mary.
Yeah.
But not, I don't think quite as much as there was in The Martian.
You could make the argument that the comedy actually comes more from Rocky than it does from
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Ryan Gosling character anyway. So yeah, I guess I could see where.
Yeah.
So, what was the most emotional moment for you in the film?
The most emotional scene for me was the scene where Ryland basically got knocked out, couldn't push the button. Rocky had to jump out of his little, his little ball, right?
Yeah.
To go push the button, which then resulted in him basically getting damaged.
He was like basically decomposing and
Decomposing, yeah. He was dying. And so he had to do that and then went back into it. But he was willing to sacrifice himself.
Yeah.
I think for me, that was probably the coolest, most emotional.
Yeah, that would have been mine too.
Yeah?
Yeah, for sure.
What about you back there?
I think that the whole ending of the movie, where they were basically going back and forth and just showing the bond that they both had for each other and the willingness to put the other one's life ahead of their own, and they kind of go back and forth a little bit with that, is so endearing. And so, like, there's not one specific scene for me. It's that whole ending of just showing that they were willing to go above and beyond, not just for their own people, but for each other.
Yeah. So would you say that he is the best alien character in sci-fi?
I mean, I think he's up there.
That's there, right?
It was a phenomenal job that they did on it. So I can't really think of too many others that you get that invested in.
Maybe E.T.
Yep.
I don't know.
Maybe E.T. But I was a kid.
Yeah, I don't.
So it's a little different. You're kind of emotionally invested in anything at that point.
Right.
But I think it could be up there with like an E.T.
I'm trying to think of the other one. I mean, Elf, but that's.
Oh, Alf?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're talking about like friendly aliens, yeah, E.T., Mork, Alf. There's a couple other ones, but usually we show them as like aggressive.
Jar Jar Binks.
Sith Lord? You think he's the best?
I would put him up there.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to have like, recency bias, which tends to happen from time to time, but
yeah.
He's up there.
Let's give it a few years and see how, like you said, there's a lot of recency bias there.
Yeah.
So let's see how it ages.
Let's see if they fuck up the sequel.
And I just hope they don't have a sequel.
They're going to.
They're going to. Made a lot of money.
Exactly, and that's why they're going to.
Do one of his other books. Have him write another book. Have him write 10 more books and make movies out of all of them. But stop trying to, have a sequel for everything.
Writing a book is not that easy. Ask George R.R. Martin.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
We're never getting that book.
Or the other one.
The other what?
He's supposed to have 2 books out of the
Oh, is he?
Yeah, it's supposed to be 2 books. Can't even get the other one out.
I mean, at this point, does it really matter, though?
Yeah.
It does.
Okay.
What's your favorite Rocky moment?
I don't know if I have a favorite Rocky moment. No, you know what it is? It was just his enthusiasm when he first gets in the ball and shows up.
Yeah.
And then just starts rolling through the ship.
Yeah.
And not even caring about, he's just going around and checking everything out.
You're like, this is a mess.
Yeah, because he is so excited.
Yeah.
That was the best for me.
Yeah. He's just walking around. You're really messy in here.
Yeah. Very judgmental.
Very judgmental.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting company.
Right.
Amaze.
How about the scientific accuracy of this movie?
Well, all I can go by is people who are way smarter about science than I am.
Right.
And I did watch a podcast with Neil deGrasse
Neil deGrasse Tyson?
Tyson,
Yeah.
and he had Andy on, and they were talking about it. about how accurate it was and how Andy basically has a Neil test when he writes. He writes, is Neil going to criticize this, or is he going to say this is not science? So that's what he went into it, and Neil didn't say it was all bogus.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say he did a great job with science.
I agree. Just let the smarter people decide.
Yeah.
I obviously didn't notice anything really that I questioned, but Neil deGrasse Tyson is kind of the guy. He kind of gave it the thumbs up.
Yeah.
I love the fact that, some sci-fi movies or even books, but oftentimes the adaptations even, where they will just kind of skip over some of the science.
Yeah.
They'll make the shortcuts. They'll do some things for cinematic effect, but that kind of ruined the scientific realism on it. When he wrote these books, he did the research. He, every part of it, as you said, with the show, the Star Talk show that he was on with Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was talking about like the anatomy of Rocky and of, the planet that he's from and how close it is to their sun and what that means. So he basically designed that planet and the atmosphere in it and what it would look like. Like, he went through every phase of the scientific process with this to make sure that it kind of worked. And I think, from what I can tell, and like you said, people smarter than us can, have been saying, I think it worked. And
the big thing is he was an executive producer on the film. It wasn't like he just wrote the book and handed it off and said, hopefully you guys keep it as close as possible. He was actually on set. Nope, that doesn't work. Fix that.
Yeah.
Yes, this works. Let's lean in on this. So I think that was also important and smart on, I don't actually know who produced the movie. Is it Amazon financed? Either way, whoever financed it.
It was 21st Century, or no, that was
Fox.
That was The Martian, because I remember hearing the dun 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 dun.
That was before Disney owned.
So, but that was for The Martian, which we just watched recently again. I don't remember what it was for this one.
Not sure. Maybe MGM. Either way, it was smart of whoever it was that was financing it to have him on board as a executive producer. Yeah. Ryan Gosling was also an executive producer, and he was a big fan of the book, and he wanted it to keep it as authentic as possible too. So both those things together helped make it a great movie.
I agree. Yeah.
Amazon MGM Studio.
Yeah, that was right. I think we kind of talked about this a little bit, but do you think Project Hail Mary surpasses The Martian as Andy Weir's best adaptation?
I'm not going to pick a favorite.
Fair.
I think they're both phenomenal movies.
Yeah.
They are the same in a lot of ways, but they're also different in a lot of ways. And I think it works for both of them. So I don't really think one of them was more of a favorite than the other one to me. I thought they were just both really excellent movies in their own right.
That's fair.
What about you?
I slightly like Project Runway better.
Project Runway?
Project Runway. Gotta cut that out.
I'm putting that on all the promos.
I actually like Project Hail Mary better slightly. But again, that could also be recency bias. I happened to just watch that one more recently. I love both of them.
Yeah.
When I watched both of them.
Yeah.
I would feel comfortable saying that I like Project Hail Mary.
You have to pause on that. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you back there?
I think that both of them represent something different in our species that is unique. So I think they both do a really good job. So I don't know if I could choose one over another because it's not exactly like the only true thing that they share is it's in space. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So you both are going to sit on the fence.
Yeah.
I don't know why I asked her. She doesn't pick favorites.
I don't.
She doesn't like when we do like the top 10 stuff.
I won't.
She doesn't want to rank things.
That's what the purpose of a top.
It doesn't make sense to me.
Yes, but she doesn't like to.
No.
What's your favorite color?
Didn't have one.
Okay, it's just So I don't even know why I asked.
Favorites still make sense to me.
I knew I was going to get that.
Okay,
just don't.
What's your favorite musical about a transvestite alien?
There is only one movie about a transsexual transvestite from Transylvania. That's it.
But I forgot that he was an alien.
He's an alien, yeah.
That slipped my mind, so when you just said that.
It was one of the many ridiculous plot points of that
Exactly.
movie.
I think it worked.
It does.
cultural phenomenon. So
Very much so. You want to do the time warp right now?
I watched the movie one time, and it was more times than I needed to ever watch it.
Oh my god, you are the second person in my entire life to tell me that you don't like this movie.
My roommate in college loved it. He
Exactly.
loved it. And it's I can't put into words how much I hate that movie. I just can't put into words how much I hate it.
But why?
It doesn't make any sense.
It's not supposed to.
A movie should make sense.
Why?
It shouldn't just be a bunch of shit on
It should just
screen.
be fun sometimes. Sometimes it should just be fun.
But it wasn't fun.
But it was. You didn't do the time warp. You would have had so much fun if you did the time warp. Exactly. I have to go watch it again.
I don't think anybody knows what that means.
You don't know what the time warp is? You want me to do it?
It was a little song and dance they did, but I have no idea what it means to the plot. And I like the movie. I thought
There is no plot.
There is no plot to the movie. There's
Well,
no plot.
actually, there
There
is.
is.
So you have 3 aliens who come to Earth, and 2 of them don't want to be here anymore. One is having a fabulous time because he found himself, and now he's going to create his partner for life. But debauchery and chaos.
Yeah, and then the random people who showed up at the house.
Yeah, those are their followers. They have followers.
No, the two.
Oh, the 2 that happened. Well, so
Like
you
car
had
broke down or something. And
No.
they were-
Yeah.
So you had the 2 main characters, Brad and Janet, who are in love with each other. They met because of a professor, and they on their honeymoon get stuck. But where they're at, where they end up, is because of the professor, because his son is missing, played by Meatloaf.
Damn it, Janet.
No,
It's a song.
yeah, that's when he's telling her that he loves her.
Yeah.
Not for me. But
Each their own.
there's like, I don't know, 50 other musicals I'd watch.
I hate musicals with a passion.
Except for Hamilton.
Hamilton? You don't like Hamilton?
He
Oh,
loves
Hamilton I love.
Hamilton.
You don't like- you don't like-
I haven't seen the movie. We saw the play.
I took him to see that. So for one of the kids' birthdays, we went and we did Hamilton. And I had already done that with my friends because I am obsessed with Hamilton. Lin-Manuel is amazing. He's a genius, and I love everything he does. So I go and I see Hamilton. Love Hamilton. Already saw the Disney production with the original cast because I wasn't able to see it with the original cast. Get them to all go, and I made sure that I put all of them in like up close to the stage. And like during intermission, he turned around to me and he was like, "I love this." And I was so happy because he
I
hates
got
musicals.
spit on by King George. Yeah.
That is such a great musical.
So yes, that's a musical I like.
Not Rent?
No. Little Shop of Horrors I liked,
Rent is good.
but other than
That's
that,
where
I
Lin
don't
Manuel
like.
got his start. Actually, was in Rent.
Not a Wicked fan? That's a crappy movie. Yeah.
We went and we saw Wicked on Broadway, and
Yeah.
that was phenomenal.
Oh.
You didn't like that?
I mean, it was okay.
What didn't you like about it?
That is a musical. I mean, it takes you out of, like, I want to be into the story.
You've seen Avenue Q?
No.
Avenue Q is fantastic. That's my favorite music.
But as soon as people start breaking out into song and dance, it takes me out of the storyline.
Well, the Avenue Q is about puppets, so you already have to stretch your imagination in the first place.
Okay?
Humans on stage with a hand up a puppet's butt.
Oh, okay.
Quite ridiculous. But yeah, it's a good one.
I'm not going to check it out. But Yeah.
It's not playing anymore.
oh, okay.
So,
All right.
what is the movie really about underneath all the science? About friendship, overcoming differences, and solving a problem.
It's about trust. Takes an awful lot of trust. You just meet an alien and, befriend it.
Yeah.
Basically. Survival is really kind of the biggest one. Overall friendship, yeah, I think that would be the main theme.
Yeah.
Because they become like BFFs. He doesn't even want to leave him at the end.
No.
And Rocky's super happy about that.
Probably easier when you don't have like any attachments bringing you back somewhere.
Probably.
Yeah.
And like as you mentioned before, I mean, he was basically drugged and sent against his will.
Yeah.
I'd be a little salty getting back.
Yeah.
So maybe he does. Maybe he just sticks around.
Plus, when you do the math and you realize, like, by the time that you get back, any students that you were teaching, like, they're so much older, right? And then you also realize, like, because of the way that time essentially works and gravity works in space, you are not going to be aging the way that everybody else is.
Okay, but,
and there's a very real possibility you get back, and most of the people that you know aren't even alive anymore.
but he's going to come back and be the savior of Earth. He's the man who basically single-handedly...
You didn't ask for that. That's not who he is.
Doesn't matter. He saved Earth. Man is going to be a hero. He will never have to buy another drink in his life. He is golden.
Well, he doesn't have to buy a drink in his life right now.
He can't get a drink right now.
He can. Rocky can make anything.
I don't know.
He made a beach
Exactly.
with water.
Yeah, but they don't even have some of the scientific understandings that we do.
They don't.
No.
They have access to his archive.
Well, now they do, yeah.
Yeah.
But coming into that, time dilation, they didn't understand. So, which is really weird. You can build a fucking spaceship like that.
And travel through space and not understand time dilation.
At the speed of light and not understand time dilation?
Yeah. But
This ship's also
again,
very weird.
so
Yeah, it is.
But that also kind of, and I know you're going to hate this, but this kind of like plays into me explaining to you that like time is a concept. And so therefore he wouldn't have the science behind it because it's a concept.
You drinking over there?
No.
Thank you, Neil. So you got some facts on the movie?
Got some facts. We already talked about the Neil test already.
Yes.
The design for Rocky was supposed to be as non-human as possible. Weir deliberately rejected classic sci-fi tropes of a guy in a rubber makeup. He has no eyes. He's through echolocation, which you discussed. He has 5 limbs. Breathes. You know what he breathes? I'll ask that question. He breathes instead of oxygen.
Yes. What was it? Shit. I can't think of it.
Ammonia.
Ammonia. That's it.
He thrives in a crushing atmospheric pressure and extreme heat. Evolved on a planet with radically different chemistry and gravity.
Because they were so close to their sun, and their atmosphere basically was built in a way that, the atmospheric pressure, because he still needed water, but it was so hot there that it was boiling.
Right.
Basically like 200 degrees Celsius. Mm. So he needed a way for the water not to boil away, but, still be there at that temperature. Mm. And so they changed the atmospheric pressure in order to kind of handle that. Brilliantly done.
Yeah.
But I forget where I was going with that.
I don't know. You were going off. I was going to let you go.
Yeah. I kind of thought I had something there, but I forgot what the point was. So
as we said, the theme was friendship. Andy also said the friendship mattered more than the apocalypse. He explained that the emotional core isn't saving Earth. It's the relationship between Grace and Rocky.
Yeah, not to the people on Earth. They care more about themselves than they do about Rocky. And
they don't know about Rocky.
I understand, but they're not going to be like, oh, that was so cute. While they're dying, they're like, send us back that shit.
Well, yes. And the majority of the people who were in the room, they would all be dead by the time the sun was completely diminished anyway. So they're really doing it for their...
Sure.
Friendship.
Okay, but I'm not willing to sacrifice my kids for a friendship between a man and a rock.
But you might be willing to sacrifice the entire planet if you didn't have any kids or a wife and they drugged you and put you on a spaceship and sent you off the fuck off.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah. Do you know what Rocky's species is called?
Iridian.
Yeah. So the Iridian language is basically music. One of Andy's favorite concepts was that Rocky's species communicates through chords and tones rather than spoken words. Mm-hmm. Their language isn't merely translated into, it's literally music. So when Grace and Rocky's friendship started, it was basically like a big jam session. That's what he was trying to say.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I think he had a quote that said, "The first contact story at the heart of Project Hail Mary isn't Independence Day. It's 2 nerds inventing jazz in deep space."
That makes sense.
He also said he got some science wrong. He openly admitted it. He told Tyson that new discoveries sometimes invalidated things he painstakingly gotta be frustrating as hell. You probably spent months, if not years, researching science, and then they find something out, and they're like, "Oh, that's wrong." All over it.
Well, apparently the planet that the Iridians are from doesn't actually exist. It was a solar flare.
Right.
And so he based everything on when we thought it was an actual planet.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, they come to find, oh, no, that was just a solar flare. There's no planet there.
Yeah. He said that he treats science as a moving target rather than a fixed authority, like time being relative. Science isn't certainty, it's the willingness to update your belief when better information.
Yes.
He also said the real hero isn't intelligence. It's touched on with Tyson, something that many fans overlooked, which is Grace isn't an astronaut. He's not military. He's not a politician. He's a middle school science teacher. Intentionally made his protagonist someone whose greatest skill is explaining ideas and inspiring curiosity. That becomes crucial because the entire mission succeeds through teaching Rocky, learning from Rocky, in cooperation with the conquest.
I mean, look, we've had way too many movies where a soldier was the hero or an FBI agent or a CIA agent, right? Like
Right.
we have plenty of those movies.
Right.
So I think to, make a teacher the hero, I think it was brilliant.
Yeah.
I like
agree.
that.
Yeah.
You missed the first one that you have on the list here, which I was waiting for.
The first one that I have on the list?
Yeah. What Andy Weir did before he became a writer.
Which was what, Ramon?
He was a software engineer.
Yeah, I left that out. I put that on there for you, but I purposely
left it off. Yeah. Knowing that I'm like waiting, and everyone that you go, I'm like, this is gonna be the one about software engineers, and it never was.
No, never was.
I honestly think the movie is about a software engineer saving the world. That was my takeaway of it.
That was your take?
And you can't convince me otherwise.
That's fair.
I did learn that Andy Weir is a terrible human being. He's a Red Sox fan, and I've never met a Red Sox fan that was a decent human being.
I'm a Red Sox fan.
I know. Point still stands.
To be fair, I haven't been a Red Sox fan since those cheap fucks got rid of Mookie Betts.
Yeah.
So I don't follow baseball as much as I do anymore. I don't want to be a bandwagon guy and say I follow the Dodgers, but I like Mookie Betts, so I pull for Mookie to.
Okay.
In spite of, I haven't met a Yankee fan who isn't obnoxious either. So
that's because there is none.
Right.
Yeah. We're all that way. I'm okay with that.
Okay, let me blow your mind here. I have a really quick question for both of you.
Yeah.
So in the movie, when Rocky makes the thing that Grace can wear around his neck to breathe without like being in a suit or anything, but we know that Rocky breathes in ammonia. Wouldn't the ammonia react with Grace's lungs and cause damage, even if there's oxygen? Because it basically stuffs out the oxygen. It can, and when oxygen and ammonia combine, it causes a nitration reaction. So, like, scientifically, like, that would not work.
Well, that's assuming that in the tunnel it's filled with ammonia, which you don't know because Rocky never goes out in the tunnel.
That's true.
He stays on his ship.
That's true.
And it's purposely empty.
Yeah, that's true. So he might have removed the ammonia from the tunnel and just made the thing so he could move.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense. I was just thinking about that.
Yeah, I think it's basically a vacuum in there.
Yeah, that's how I thought, because you never actually see Rocky in that
That's true.
tunnel ever.
Right. After he builds it, yeah.
Yeah.
If Neil didn't call it out, I'm guessing it's okay.
That's true.
Ask the vibe test.
What mysterious organism is draining energy from the
Astrophage?
Which
know
means...
What?
What does it mean?
Star Eater.
Yes. Star Eater. What country launched the probe that discovered astrophage breeding near Venus?
I'm going to say China.
The answer is the Netherlands.
The Netherlands. That's not even a real country.
Hey.
What is the name of the tough, no-nonsense woman coordinating Earth's response and is responsible for drugging the protector?
Oh, I don't remember her name. What was her name?
Eva.
Eva?
Why is the mission called Hail Mary?
Because it was a last-ditch effort.
Like in football.
Like in football, right? Throwing a Hail Mary.
Yep.
A long shot, but...
According to the movie, not the book. What happened to Grace's two crewmates?
According to the movie, there was an issue with their life support that caused them to die.
In the book, they died because they lacked a specific genetic resistance to the coma drug.
Which they knew was a possibility because everyone was tested genetically. They knew that Grace was like the only one that had the genetic capabilities of surviving it. But I guess it was, again, a Hail Mary, right? Try anyway.
I think one of the takeaways from this is I want to read the book. You know,
Yeah.
It's a good story. I want to dig more into some of the science and the stuff that they left out of the movie.
Pick up the book.
I'll probably pick up the book.
Cool. What is Rocky's wife's name?
Adrian.
Because the name is so hard to understand that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Riley says, we're going to call her Adrian.
We'll call her Adrian.
Yeah.
Rocky goes, amazing, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
What does Rocky call humans?
I don't remember.
Leaky space blobs.
I mean, he's not wrong. He's not wrong.
What material is Rocky's spacecraft primarily made of?
What material?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good question.
Well, I asked it.
I don't know if I remember the material that it's made out of.
Xenonite.
Xenonite. Okay.
So, what organism ultimately preys on Astrophage and saves both siblings?
Oh, something amoeba. Because he combined amoeba and
something. It starts with a T.
Yep. Yeah, it's like Taumoeba.
Something like
Taumoeba?
that.
How it's pronounced? Taumoeba.
what was the first part that he combined with it? Oh, the planet, right?
Oh.
Tau Ceti.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Tau Ceti amoeba, and he brought it down to Taumoeba.
Taumoeba. Yeah.
Yeah.
What phrase becomes Rocky's signature line?
Amaze.
What is the approximate gravity on Rocky's home world compared to Earth?
Much heavier. I don't know how much heavier.
Roughly two Gs, or twice Earth's gravity.
Okay.
Which is why the oceans don't boil at 200 degrees there.
Right. Yeah. The pressure. Yeah.
Right.
What famous scientific principle does Grace repeatedly rely on to solve problems?
What scientific?
What scientific principle repeatedly rely on to solve problems?
I don't know.
Scientific method.
Oh. Okay.
Observe, hypothesize, experiment, adapt.
Okay.
And why was Grace ultimately forced onto the mission despite initially refusing?
Because he had the gene.
Yeah. I mean, the movie says basically Strat considered him indispensable to humanity's survival and had to place him aboard against his because
Right.
he was unique qualified.
He was uniquely qualified, but he also had the gene, which is why, that could make him survive. So that was why. I did better than I thought I was going to do.
Yeah. Now we're at the point where we're going to give a thumbs up or thumbs down. For me, it's a easy thumbs up, way up.
Oh, for me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. This was a good movie.
Even if you're not into like the sciencey aspect of it, you're still going to enjoy the movie.
Exactly.
And if you are into the sciencey aspect of the movie, you're going to love the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, even if you're just a fan of the, sci-fi, world-saving, those type of things, you're going to love it. But if you're a space nerd or a science nerd, you're going to love it even more.
And if you don't like either of those things and you're like my wife, Ryan Gosling apparently is good to look at for women.
Well, yeah, I mean, that he literally was Ken.
I didn't watch that movie.
You didn't watch Barbie? Why?
It wasn't for me.
Yes, it was.
Kind of was.
It wasn't for women. It was for men.
I don't know who the movie was for. It wasn't for me, though.
Kind of was.
And none of my kids wanted to watch it. So if they would have wanted to watch
Why?
it, I don't know. None of my kids ever played with Barbies.
Okay.
No, it is.
So they weren't into it, so then I didn't watch it.
All right.
If they would have, I probably would have watched it.
Yeah.
I did see like the music video was pretty funny.
I didn't see the music video.
I think it was just a scene of him singing about how he's Ken.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
just Ken.
Yeah.
But I had no context in terms of the movie for that. Maybe I would have appreciated it more if I seen the movie. But I didn't.
Probably.
I didn't watch
They basically break out of, the perfect world that Barbie and Ken live in.
it.
Oh, it's perfect? Why is it perfect? No. You know what? Keep going, because I really want to hear the male perspective on this.
I'm giving you the plot.
Yeah.
They lived in the perfect Barbie world where nothing went wrong.
Why?
I mean, why?
There's the whole reason to the movie.
It's all happy all the time.
Why?
I don't fucking know.
Because it was run by women.
Okay.
That's the whole point of the movie.
And anyway, They break out of that and step into the real life, like the real world. And
That's controlled by men.
that's controlled by men.
And it's a shit show.
It's not just
And it's a shit
controlled by
show.
men. The people that own the corporation are old Kens. That's why they're all men.
Spoiler
Yeah.
alert.
What was the next question?
It wasn't a question. We were talking. We were giving a
Yeah.
review of the movie. We
Right.
we weird off a little bit.
We did.
Yeah, we did.
If humanity needed one ordinary person, ordinary is the key word here. You can't say Neil. To save the world, who would you nominate?
Why is he not ordinary?
Because he's a scientific genius.
He's a scientist.
He doesn't count.
Yeah, that's exactly who would count.
That's the easy answer. Give me somebody different.
The Pope.
Say the Pope.
The Pope?
Yeah.
No. God, we're all fucked.
Just this Pope and the
We're
last
sending the
one.
Pope. We're fucked.
None of the other ones. They're all assholes.
Fucking 80-something-year-old man who doesn't know anything about anything other than
He's not 80.
religion.
And he knows a lot
we're
more than
fine.
just religion. He's from Chicago.
I can't pick Neil. I'm going me.
You're going to save the world?
I'm going to save the
We're
world.
all fucked.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, but we're going to have fun while we're fucked.
I guess it depends what the crisis is. But I'm talking about we need to put somebody in space to do it.
Yeah.
Who are we having? Who's all the people who are having fun?
Oh, we're going to have fun while we do. I'll have fun while I'm doing it.
I'll do it.
Anybody that's with me.
I'll do it.
I mean, I can't send Neil. He would be my first choice.
I mean, if you're going to pick a genius,
Yeah.
you got to go with Kanye West, right?
Do I want to send Kanye West into space? Yes. Is it to help with anything, solve a scientific problem, or save the world? Absolutely not.
I mean, my like all-star team, I was putting together like a starting five.
Yeah.
It would be Kanye West. It would be Terrence Howard. I mean, Terrence Howard is the only person that one-upped Neil in science. You got to have him on there, 100%.
Oh, sure. Keep going.
You got to take somebody who's come from nothing and overcome so much. So the third person would be Donald Trump Jr. The fourth would be Macaulay Culkin, because he knows how to survive alone if his crew members die. And then the fifth one would be whoever does the voiceovers for movie. I feel like he would be able to narrate it.
That was the worst list I think I've ever heard. Do I want to send those first three into space? Yeah, absolutely. Okay, but that is just to get them off this planet because I don't enjoy sharing.
You could make the argument that them being in space would actually save us.
It would not. Oh, would save us as a species?
Yeah.
Yeah, you need a lot more than just them. That'd be a good start, but I think you need a lot more than just them.
Realistically, if I was sending someone, it would probably be like, yeah, Neil.
You just told me I couldn't fucking have Neil.
I said you couldn't have him. I didn't say I couldn't have him.
Motherfucker. You know, at least once every video with Dion, I end up saying motherfucker at one point or another. That's going to be a common theme on, I think, any and all videos that we do together, is you just say something that makes me just snap. I mean, who did you end up picking? Neil?
Yeah.
But I can't have him?
You have him, then how can I have him?
We could both choose the same person,
Nah.
and then it would be a consensus. Babe, who would you send?
I told you.
Oh, that's right. You said the Pope. Your vote doesn't count.
Why the Pope?
Because he right now is 100% about saving humanity, and I think right now he's the only one like in a power position that really would put everyone else's like survival above his own. Do you know what I mean? And that's key to it, because not everybody's willing to do that. Most people, and especially, it's not even like a choice. It's more instinctual. You're going to try to survive yourself first, you know? You need someone who has the emotional intelligence and the ability to put that aside and go above and beyond for other people, especially knowing it's a suicide mission. That's a special mentality.
I don't know if an 80-something-year-old man could survive.
He's not 80.
How old is he?
I think in his 70s.
Okay, I don't know if a 70-something-year-old man is going to survive going to space. He could
Called
be
Hail
dead by the
Mary.
time he gets up there.
It's called Hail Mary.
Maybe he has the genetic markers that keep him alive. For
Oh
a
my
long time.
God.
I mean, he is the Pope, right? And if you,
Right.
there's stories in the Bible where people were living like 400 years. So maybe he's just like Moses.
Yeah, how'd that work out for the other popes recently?
Well, he's not the other popes. He's uniquely him.
He's 70, by the way.
70?
Yes.
So fucking old.
Aren't you almost 70?
I'm old. I look good for 70 though, don't I? Well, that'll do it for episode 1 of Speak Easy Cinema.
Next time, we'll mix another drink and watch another movie and find out whether or not it belongs on the cinematic top.
Cheers.
Cheers.